Hi, I'm Joy Brighton, Columbia MBA and former Wall Street trader. The information presented here has been compiled by an international team of counterterrorism, national security, and Sharia law experts, as well as human rights activists, both Muslim and non-Muslim. The formal concept of a Sharia banking system was created in the 1970s by members of the Muslim Brotherhood, a radical Islamic network which operates in 70 countries today. The Muslim Brotherhood links together the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, Ahmadinejad, and Osama bin Laden. The glue that holds these groups together is Sharia law. Why do these terrorist groups care about banking? In the words of Dr. Zuhdi Jasser, the president of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy, make no mistake, so-called Sharia-compliant financing is neither about religion nor about God. Sharia-compliant finance only empowers Muslim Sharia law leaders whose real long-term vision is to impose Sharia law on the world and recreate an Islamic empire. These leaders want to overpower capital-free markets and create their version of an Islamic economy. Bankers and business leaders are being duped. CEOs of Citibank, UBS, AIG, HSBC, Dow Jones, MasterCard, and Visa are buying into the false claim that Sharia is a harmless religious law of Islam without doing what seems to be the smallest amount of independent research. American corporate pension funds are being told that Sharia investments are interest-free as the Quran requires, socially acceptable, ethical, and a good way to diversify their portfolios. First, Sharia investments are not interest-free, nor are they less risky than traditional investments. Here's a diagram which shows how a simple Western bond is turned into a Sharia bond. You can see that interest is simply relabeled as rent or lease payments as money gets transferred from place to place. This is perfectly legal. What you're looking at is an investment called a derivative. Derivatives are risky for the same reason you've already figured out. They're very complicated. Banks and others are receiving $850 billion of bailout taxpayer money. Why? Because Citibank, AIG, Goldman Sachs, and others collectively own trillions of dollars of these kinds of derivatives. They created them during the subprime mortgage boom, and the prices of these risky derivatives went bust. Now, look at the 2008 investment returns for Sharia versus non-Sharia investments. The Dow Jones Industrials were down nearly 32%, and the Dow Jones Islamic market of industrials were down nearly 39%. Sharia investments are not low risk, nor are they truly interest-free. Next, Sharia investments are not socially acceptable just because some profits are donated to charity. Profits aren't donated to just any charity. They're donated to Sharia-approved Islamic charities. Here's the definition of just one of the 8 categories of Sharia charity, known as zakat in Arabic. Those fighting for Allah, meaning people engaged in Islamic military operations for whom no salary has been allotted in the army. Or volunteers for jihad without remuneration. They are given enough to suffice them for the operation, even if affluent. So, according to Sharia law, feeding and clothing jihadis is a charitable cause. This explains why 27 Islamic charities have been designated by the U.S. government as sponsors of terror. The most recent offender, the Holy Land Foundation, a Texas-based Islamic charity shut down in November of 2008. Take another look at that derivative. Do you notice the top circle collecting charity? How much money might be going to these charities? The Oasis Fleming Sharia Fund reported in 2006 that approximately 6% of its profits were being donated to charities. There are over $1 trillion of Sharia investments managed by banks around the world today. You do the math. It's very possible that billions of dollars each year are being donated by Sharia banks to terror organizations. Finally, Islamic investments are not ethical because there's more to an Islamic investment than just a ban on alcohol or gambling. Here's a prospectus for the HSBC Amana Sharia Mutual Trust, which says what this fund can and can't invest in. Some of the businesses not permitted are liquor, wine, casinos, pornography, insurance, gambling, pork processing, and interest-based banks or finance associations. That's some of the businesses. What may have been left off this list? Well, here are industries and products that are banned in a pure Sharia Islamic economy. Western music, selected books, film, radio, and television. Financing of Christian, Jewish, Buddhist, Hindu, Sikh, or any non-Islamic house of worship. Publication of Bibles or religious books for any faith except Islam. Leadership education programs for women. Health and welfare services for homosexuals. Investment in Western defense. Birth control and contraceptives. Non-Islamic products and services. And transportation companies that ship any of these banned products. It's important to note that Sharia imams hired by banks like Citibank and HSBC can add to this list at their discretion. What investment is absolutely permitted under Sharia law? Oil. Our research shows that Sharia mutual funds are more invested in overseas oil companies than traditional mutual funds. Sharia investments are not interest-free. They are not socially acceptable, and they are not ethical. How can U.S. companies legally describe it this way? This is not just a question of false advertising. This is a question of national security. Because while Americans are learning that Sharia investments are all good, Al-Qaeda released a video in February 2009 saying that Western capitalism must be replaced with Sharia banking and an Islamic economy. Here's a conference calling for the fall of capitalism and the rise of Islam. This must be happening in Saudi Arabia or Dubai, right? Wrong. This conference took place on July 17th just outside Chicago at the Oak Lawn Hilton Hotel and was held by a group called Hizb ut-Tahrir. Hizb ut-Tahrir is a global jihadist organization with 1 million members operating in 40 countries. Hizb ut-Tahrir has been named as an illegal terror group in Syria, Libya, and Saudi Arabia, but not in America. How can this be? Now, look how Hizb ut-Tahrir advertised the same conference in Malaysia, with the Statue of Liberty with her head cut off. This organization is calling for the overthrow of our government by replacing capitalism with Sharia finance. Why are Islamic terror groups so focused on replacing capitalism with Sharia finance? What's the connection? Why are all the facts in this video not disclosed on bank websites and marketing materials? Where is the SEC and the U.S. Treasury? And why aren't they enforcing existing U.S. security laws which demand full disclosure? If you're concerned about what you've heard, there is a way for you to take action, and it's simpler than you think. A good place to start is to join Act for America, a grassroots lobby with nearly 60,000 members and 300 chapters across the nation. Act for America is combating the growing threat of radical Islam through education, information, action alerts, citizen action, and lobbying. As you read emails from Act for America, you'll learn more about creeping Sharia in this country. You'll receive action alerts in which you can easily pick up the phone or send an email. Make your voice heard. There's power in numbers. Sign up for actforamerica.org today.